Tell me what is now after pituitary gland, what is the next endocrine gland we have discussed in the sequence?
Pineal gland.
Pineal gland.
Very good. So today we will start with pineal gland. So pineal gland is a small T-shaped structure located dorsal side of midbrain. Dorsal side means at the back side. Okay, you can see here in the picture, it is dark red colored and it is P-shaped gland, pineal gland. P-shaped gland, pineal gland. Okay, easy to remember. Now, also known as third eye or a hormone of darkness. It is also known as third eye. So we can connect with the concept of yoga. So in yoga, which chakra is related to third eye?
Agnya. Agya chakra.
Very good. So we can relate the pineal gland with Agya chakra. Though these are very gross, means these physiological structures are very gross, and those chakra and this third eye concept are very subtle and vast. So there is no such relation, means there is relation, but we cannot say that Agya chakra is pineal gland and the functions of pineal gland is just exactly equal to Agya chakra. It's not like that. We can connect as per the location or somewhat similar functions. But it's not like Agya chakra is pineal gland. Okay, but when we means our chakra or Sushumna Nadi is going in the middle of our body. So if we see the location of Agya chakra and pineal gland, it's almost similar and also known as third eye or hormone of darkness. Okay, why hormone of darkness? Because it regulates melatonin hormone. Now, see the function of melatonin hormone, what melatonin does and why it is responsible for hormone of darkness. Now see the functions. It promotes sleepiness. Why it promotes sleepiness? Because our body has a circadian rhythm. As per our daily routine, our body adapts a circadian rhythm. Generally, in darkness, we feel sleepy, and in sunlight or in light, we are energetic and enthusiastic. So, this general concept acts as per the sunrises and sunsets. But nowadays we are disturbing our routine and we are being a night owl. So we are disturbing our circadian rhythm. So when circadian rhythm is disturbing, this melatonin hormone is also getting imbalanced. So this causes stress and different psychosomatic diseases in our body. Psycho means mental and somatic means body. So psychosomatic means those diseases which are arising from mental body and affecting our physical body too. So the psychosomatic diseases are arising from the bad routine of our own. So pineal gland will function well when we will have our good routine, as we will go to bed early and also rise early in the morning. Now next is help to regulate the body's biological clock, that is the circadian rhythm. Biological clock is circadian rhythm. So this biological clock is also regulated by melatonin. Means melatonin has the concept that when we are in darkness we will feel sleepy, gradually we will feel sleepy. But if we adapt our body, as in darkness we are sleeping in 12 o'clock 2 o'clock, then it will disturb, we are disturbing our own routine, we are disturbing our pineal gland, we are disturbing our normal biological clock. Next is inhibition of growth of sex organs before puberty, possibly by preventing synthesis or release of gonadotropins. Means it also inhibits the growth of sex organs before puberty. Means before puberty, growth of sex organs are not seen, right? In child, we cannot see the growth of sex organs. Gradually it develops from puberty. So melatonin does the work of inhibiting of developing sex organs before puberty, possibly by preventing, means how melatonin does so, possibly by preventing synthesis or release of gonadotropins. Means gonadotropins inhibit the growth of sex organs before puberty. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, now next is thyroid gland. Thyroid gland is the largest endocrine gland. Okay, now here comes a very important question. Which is the largest endocrine gland? Thyroid gland is situated in the neck in front of the larynx. Now tell me, what is larynx?
Voice box. Larynx is, yeah, the voice box. Voice.
Yes,
Vocal
very
cord.
good. Yeah, larynx is voice box. So it resembles a butterfly shape. Means thyroid gland is situated in front of larynx. In neck, larynx is present, and in front of larynx, thyroid gland is present. And this thyroid gland is having a shape of somewhat butterfly. You can see in this picture this glandular structure in neck, the largest endocrine gland having butterfly shaped structure consisting of two lobes. You can see left and right, two lobes. The lobes are joined by a narrow isthmus lying in front of trachea. Okay, the narrow part which is connecting the both lobes is known as isthmus in front of trachea. It is well leveled in the picture, you can see here. Now, what hormones are produced by thyroid gland? First, thyroxine or tetraiodothyronine, that is T4 hormone. And next is triiodothyronine, that is T3. Tri means 3, tetra means 4. Okay, tri means 3, tetra means 4. So triiodothyronine means T3. Tetraiodothyronine means T4. And this T4 has another name, thyroxine. Now, iodine is essential for the formation of thyroid hormones. That is why You all have observed that people are suffering from thyroid disease, or yes, people are suffering from imbalance of thyroid hormone. They are suggested or advised by doctor that you please take a lot of iodine, and they generally doctors say that have a good amount of salt in your food, because salts are containing iodine, and some other foods are also there which are containing iodine, like seafoods, and some other fruits are also containing iodine. So the function of these hormones are body regulates metabolism of carbohydrates and fats, influences physical and mental growth, regulates the body's metabolic process. Okay, so these are very important functions by thyroid gland. First and foremost is it regulates body's heat production. That means it plays a very important role in homeostasis. Okay, homeostasis means maintaining body's own uh, criteria or own functions, means to maintain or to have having the balance of body's own functions, that is homeostasis. So heat, maintaining temperature of our body is an important part of homeostasis, and that is done by thyroid hormones. And second one is regulating metabolism of the macronutrients. Those are carbohydrate, proteins and fats. Next is regulates physical and mental growth. This growth hormone is also affected by thyroid gland too. So in our physical as well as mental growth, thyroid hormones are having a very important role. Now next is regulates body's metabolic process. Yes, very important thing. The whole metabolic process of our body is regulated by thyroid hormones. So these are the very important functions of thyroid hormones. And one more hormone is secreted by thyroid gland, that is calcitonin. Now what are the functions of calcitonin? Secretion is regulated by blood calcium levels. Means how much of calcitonin hormone will be secreted, that is regulated by blood calcium level. Means if our blood calcium level is enough or high or low, according to that proportion calcitonin hormone will be secreted by thyroid gland. Release of calcitonin is stimulated by increased blood calcium levels. Okay, means if blood calcium level is high, just a minute. Sorry for the interruption. Yes. So if our blood calcium level is high, then calcitonin will be secreted. Means calcitonin will be released. Means calcitonin hormone inhibits the blood calcium level. Calcitonin lowers the raised blood calcium level. Okay, clearly mentioned in the next point. Calcitonin lowers the raised blood calcium level. Means if calcium level in blood is high, then calcitonin will be secreted, and after secretion of calcitonin, it will decrease or reduce the level of calcium in blood. Bone cells promoting their storage of calcium, means bone cells, they are promoting their storage of calcium. No need of this point. Okay. Next point is kidney tubules inhibiting the reabsorption of calcium. Yeah. We all know this, that when blood is filtered by kidney, then kidney tubules inhibit the reabsorption of calcium when calcitonin is secreted. Very simple thing, means calcitonin is inhibiting the or reducing the blood calcium level. So if calcitonin is released or calcitonin is secreted, then kidneys or tubules of kidneys will also stop reabsorption of calcium, because if they will reabsorb the calcium, then again the blood calcium level will be high. So let the blood calcium go out through urine when calcitonin is secreted. Okay. Next is parathyroid gland. There are 4 small parathyroid glands. The 2 pairs of parathyroid glands are located on the back side of thyroid gland. Okay. On the back side means from our back side we can see parathyroid glands. You can see here in the picture, just behind the thyroid gland, parathyroid glands are situated. Those are very small structure, almost round in shape, present just behind the thyroid gland. In each side, 1 pair of parathyroid gland is present. So total 4 parathyroid glands are present. Now, what are the hormones of parathyroid gland? Parathyro, sorry, parathormone hormone. The name of hormone produced and secreted by parathyroid gland is parathormone. Now, what is the function of parathormone hormone? Secretion is regulated by blood calcium level. Again, the parathormone hormone is also regulated by blood calcium level. Release of parathormone hormone is stimulated by decreased blood calcium level. Now you can see, when blood calcium level is high, calcitonin is secreted, and when blood calcium level is low, parathormone hormone is secreted. Okay, so these are just opposites. Now parathormone hormone increases blood calcium level. Obviously, this will increase the blood calcium level. This is achieved by increasing the calcium absorption from the small intestine and reabsorption from renal tubules. So functions are very simple. What this parathormone hormone and calcitonin are doing? When calcitonin is secreted, then reabsorption of blood calcium from renal tubule is inhibited, and when parathormone hormone is secreted, then reabsorption of renal tubules is again started, and from small intestine also calcium is getting absorbed. By these 2 processes, calcium is regulated in bloodstream. Okay. Now next is thymus gland. This is flattened small structure. It is present in between sternum and top of the heart in thoracic cavity. Okay. So it is very small in structure and it is present in between the sternums. What is sternum? Tell me quickly.
The bone,
Chest
the
bone
Yeah.
in ribs.
Yes, very good. It is chest bone or the bone in the front of our chest and which is connecting the ribs. So we can touch, we can feel the sternum by touching in chest. And thyroid gland, sorry, thymus gland is present behind this um, sternum and in between sternum and heart. Okay, top of heart, top of the heart in thoracic cavity. The thymus gland has soft two lobes. It is also having two lobes, left and right. It is a part of lymphatic system. Thymus gland is a very important part of lymphatic system, right? Now next is thymosin hormone is produced by thymus gland. So just remember the names of these hormones which are produced by these endocrine glands. Thymus gland is producing thymosin hormone. And this thymosin hormone is necessary for normal production of T cells in immune system. We will discuss the importance of T cells and B cells in immune system. So T cells are very important part of our immune system, and these T cells are produced by thymus gland, or these these T cells are uh, produced with the help of thymosin hormone. And this thymosin
Please
hormone,
shortly define the T cell.
T cells are it's a part of immune system which directly, how can I define now?
I guess it is called lymphocytes also.
Yeah, these are lymphocytes. Mm, Actually,
One
these are parts
response
of defense mechanism. We will discuss in the immune system. How can I define T cell right now? Yeah. These are army
is
of our body. Lymphocytes. T cells and B cells are lymphocytes, parts of lymphocytes.
okay.
And I think you all know what are lymphocytes. Lymphocytes are, sorry, yeah, these are another name of white blood cells. Okay, sorry, leukocyte. Leukocytes are another name of white blood cells. So T cells are also kind of white blood cells. Is it okay now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now next is pancreas. We have already discussed pancreas in digestive system. So it is a leaf-shaped organ about 12 to 15 semi long, located left epigastric region behind the stomach. Pancreas is a mixed gland with both endocrine and exocrine cells. Okay, we have already discussed all these things. Now, endocrine cells are called islets of Langerhans. Contain alpha, beta, and gamma cells. Produce hormones. Okay, so endocrine cells of pancreas are alpha, beta, and gamma cells. Now, alpha cells produce glucagon hormone. Okay, alpha cells of pancreas secretes glucagon. Glucagon is released when blood glucose level are low. So it converts stored glycogen into glucose. Okay. Means when we need glucose in our body, but blood glucose level is low. Means we need glucose in our body, but blood glucose level is low. In that case, alpha cells secrete glucagon. Means alpha cells of pancreas secretes glucagon, and these glucagon act on glycogen, and this glycogen is converted into glucose. Now this glucose is uh, we need this glucose on that time in our body. Now next is any problem?
Ma'am, is this stored in liver, no?
Yes, yes. Glycogen is stored in liver.
Okay. Thank you.
Form of carbohydrate, it is glycogen, and this glycogen is stored in liver, and alpha cells of pancreas is secreting glucagon hormone. Now this glucagon hormone acts on glycogen and converts into glucose when we need glucose in our body. Next is insulin hormone. Insulin hormone is secreted by beta cells of pancreas. Insulin is released when blood glucose level are high. Store excess glucose as glycogen form. Okay. So when insulin is secreted when blood glucose level is high. Next is delta cells. I'm very sorry. Delta cell it is. I was telling till now it is gamma cell. It is delta cell. Now, delta cells secrete somatostatin. And what somatostatin does? Somatostatin inhibits growth hormone release from pituitary gland. Okay. Inhibits the release of growth hormone from pituitary gland. It also inhibits the secretion of both insulin and glucagon hormone. Okay, so somatostatin inhibits the release of growth hormone, also insulin and glucagon hormone, and it is secreted by delta cells of pancreas. Okay, next is adrenal gland. The paired triangular shaped adrenal glands are located on the top of each kidney, or these are also known as suprarenal. The adrenal glands are composed of the outer adrenal cortex and inner adrenal medulla. Means this adrenal gland is surrounded by cortex, or outer layer of the adrenal gland is adrenal cortex, and in between that adrenal cortex medulla is staying safe. So adrenal cortex and adrenal medulla is present in the middle of adrenal gland. Hormones of adrenal gland are also divided by cortex and medulla. So adrenal cortex is secreting mineralocorticoids. And three hormones are secreted by adrenal cortex: mineralocorticoids and glucocorticoids and gonadocorticoids. Okay, these three hormones are secreted by adrenal cortex. Now, adrenal medulla is secreting two hormones, that is epinephrine and norepinephrine. Epinephrine also known as adrenaline, norepinephrine also known as noradrenaline. Now, the adrenal cortex produces three groups of hormone which are collectively known as corticosteroids. Okay. These three hormones, mineralocorticoids, glucocorticoids, gonadocorticoids. These three hormones collectively known as corticosteroids. Now, this mineralocorticoid hormone is aldosterone, is the main mineralocorticoid hormone. It is involved in maintaining water and electrolyte balance. Okay, the water and electrolyte balance in our body is altered by or aldosterone. It is aldosterone balances sodium and potassium in blood. These are the electrolytes in blood. So these electrolytes are balanced or regulated by aldosterone. Next is glucocorticoid hormone. Cortisol is the main glucocorticoid, but small amount of cortisol and corticosterone are also produced. Okay, cortisol is the main glucocorticoid, but some amount of cortisol and corticosterone are also produced. And this glucocorticoid hormone regulates carbohydrate, protein, and fat metabolism. Okay, so metabolism of macronutrients are also regulated by glucocorticoid hormone. Act as anti-inflammatory and anti-allergic actions. Helps the body cope during times of stress. Okay, so cortisol or glucocorticoid hormones are essential for coping up with stress. Now, third is gonadocorticoids or sex corticoids. Sex hormones secreted by adrenal cortex are mainly androgens. Androgens are male sex hormone, although the amounts produced are insignificant compared to those secreted by gonads in puberty. Means gonads are the primary sex organs. Obviously, they will produce more sex hormones in comparison to these adrenaline or adrenal gland. So, gonadocorticoids is sex corticoids, and androgen is the male sex hormone produced by this this adrenal cortex. But this is insignificant in comparison with those secreted by gonads in puberty. Obviously, gonads in puberty will secrete more or much amount of hormone in comparison to adrenal gland. Now, it is also responsible for the development of secondary sexual characteristics in male. So primary sexual characteristics will obviously regulated by gonads, and secondary sexual characteristics in men are responsible for gonadocorticoids or androgens. Next is, I'm sorry, it is written here renal medulla. It is actually adrenal medulla. So, adrenal medulla is completely surrounded by adrenal cortex. Okay, means outer covering of adrenal gland is adrenal cortex. So, adrenal medulla is completely surrounded by adrenal cortex. Now, the hormones of adrenal medulla are epinephrine and norepinephrine. Now, what is epinephrine? Epinephrine is adrenaline, known as stress or emergency hormone. Okay, when we are having any emergency, Then this adrenaline hormone is secreted, or during stress, this adrenaline hormone is seen in our body. It elevates blood pressure, increases heart rate, cardiac output, speeds up the release of glucose from the liver, increasing metabolic rate, and dilates the pupils to see more clearly. It is often used in counteract the stress reaction. So, what it is doing? It is increasing the blood pressure, increasing the heart rate, increasing the cardiac output, speeding up the release of glucose from liver, increasing the metabolic rate, and dilating the pupils. So, what are these signs indicating? These signs indicating that we are in an emergency situation, we are in a stressful situation, and in this situation, our sympathetic nervous system is active. All these signs are the sign of activation of sympathetic nervous system, like increasing blood pressure, increasing heart rate, cardiac output, blood glucose level, and this metabolic rate. All these things indicating towards the stressful situation, emergency situation, and sympathetic activation. Okay. So in this case, epinephrine hormone is released. It is all. It is often used to counteract stress reaction. Okay, so when we are in stress, when our sympathetic nervous system is activated, then epinephrine hormone is released. Now, norepinephrine hormone is also known as noradrenaline. Norepinephrine, like epinephrine, is released when body is under stress. Norepinephrine, like epinephrine, is released when body is under stress. Means when body is under stress, this epinephrine is also released, and this norepinephrine is also released. It creates the underlying influence in the fight or flight response. It actually triggers a drop in heart rate, blood pressure, cardiac output, etc. Okay, means it is actually triggering a drop in heart rate. Means it will gradually decrease the heart rate, blood pressure, cardiac output, etc. Means see how beautifully our body is coping up. At first, in the emergency situation, epinephrine is released to cope up with the reactions of our body, like blood pressure is going up, cardiac output going up, heart rate going up, metabolism going high. But after that situation, how to handle that situation? For handling up that situation, norepinephrine is also secreted at the same time, that you have to again keep all these things in normal position. For that purpose, norepinephrine hormone is also secreted by adrenal medulla. Next is gonads. Gonads are the primary sex organs. The ovaries and testes are paired oval organs referred to as gonads. Ovaries in female, testes in male. Two ovaries are female gonads located in pelvic cavity, one in each side of uterus. In left and right side of pelvic cavity, ovaries are present. They are 2.5 to 3.5 semi long. Ovaries have two functions. They produce eggs. They produce female sex hormone called estrogen. Okay. Female sex hormone produced by ovary. in female. Now you can see here in the picture how ovary looks like and how it is producing egg and how it is releasing egg. You will have a close look up with the picture after sharing the slides with you. It is responsible for the development and maintenance of reproductive system. Obviously, production of egg in every month is very important for maintaining the reproductive system of a female. Development and maintenance of female sexual characteristics. Estrogen is very important female sex hormone that develop and maintains the female sexual characteristics. Regulation of menstrual cycle too, because it is responsible for the production of egg, and these production means ovaries are producing egg and estrogen hormone. So regulation of menstrual cycle is also depending upon the production of egg. Now testes. Testes are two in male. These are gonads of male or primary sex organs of male, located outside the body in front of pelvic region near the upper thighs. Okay, so testes are located outside the body, but ovaries are located inside the body. Now, why testes are located outside the body? Any reason?
Probably to maintain the body temperature.
Maintain the body temperature. Body temperature is regulated by homeostasis process, and it is regulated by hypothalamus, pituitary, and thyroid gland.
The temperature of the testicles should be even more lower than the normal body temperature.
Why? You are right. You are very close. But why?
Probably the sperms would survive only in that temperature.
Yes, very good. Production of sperm needs a bit lower temperature than our body temperature. That is why testes are located outside the body. They are about 4.5 semi long. Testes have two functions. They produce sperm. They produce male sex hormone called testosterone. Now tell me, what is the female sex hormone we just discussed?
Estrogen.
Estrogen.
Very good. Now, the male sex hormone is testosterone produced by testes, and the another function of testes to produce sperm. So, it is responsible for the development and maintenance of our reproductive system. Obviously, testosterone will be responsible for the maintenance and development of reproductive system. Development and maintenance of male sexual characteristics. Okay, now next is spleen. Spleen is a largest lymphatic organ connected to blood vascular system. Okay, in case of lymphatic system, spleen is the largest lymphatic organ. Located in the upper left abdomen, lies between fundus of stomach and diaphragm. Now tell me, which part of stomach is known as fundus? Remind your digestive
Top.
system diagrams.
Upper part, ma'am.
Yes, very good. Upper part of stomach is known as fundus. So just behind the fundus, spleen is present. Means just behind the stomach, spleen is present. You can see in this picture, behind the stomach or the upper left part of abdomen. Now, it extends between 9th and 11 ribs, protected by rib cage first fist shaped and about 12 semi long. Fist shape means when we are closing our fingers and making a fist in our palm.
Like
This
Adi
is
Mudra. Like Adi Mudra.
Adi Mudra. Where you have seen this Adi Mudra and discuss, means where you have studied about this Adi Mudra?
No, if we close the feet, means it will be like babies well born means closing the.
Yeah. Everybody understood. Thank you for the mentioning Adi Mudra, but may you please mention the reference of Adi Mudra?
That means Adi Mudra is the while childbirth means it will.
Yeah, I understood
That's
what you are telling means, but I am just asking about the reference because I don't know any reference of Adi Mudra. If you know, then please share with us.
Okay, ma'am.
Ma'am, it's just a closed fist with the thumb inside and all the other four fingers wrapped around it.
Around it.
I'm getting you all. I'm just asking from where did you got the information of Adi Mudra?
From yoga to.
Ma'am,
Which
because there's a point called fist shaped. So she's trying to relate fist shape with the Adi Mudra.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
I got everything what you are trying to tell. What I am asking,
Is the textual reference. She's asking for a textual reference.
yes. Where did you got the name of Adi Mudra?
Oh, with the text you are asking. Okay.
Who taught you about Adi Mudra, or from where have you learned about Adi Mudra? Okay, no problem. It's not a big deal, but if you get any reference, then please share with us.
Okay, sure,
Because
ma'am.
yes. Now, everybody got the point that is that it is fist shaped and about 12 semi long, which is spleen, and it is largest lymphatic organ. Now, it is surrounded by a capsule composed of dense fibrous tissue which provide internal support. Okay, it is surrounded by a capsule or cover or sheath, that is dense fibrous tissue made up of fibers. The spleen plays important roles in regard to red blood cells and immune system. Okay. Immune system, spleen having a very important role. It acts primarily as blood filter. Okay, so spleen is also a kind of blood filter, means red blood cells come here in the spleen, and the damaged red blood cells are filtered in spleen. Means red blood cells are produced by bone marrow, and when the lifespan of red blood cells are completed, then the red blood cells come to spleen and they are getting filtered. Now, please tell me, what is the lifespan of red blood cells? This is a very important question in UGC NET point of view.
120 days.
Very good, very good. It is 120 days. So, spleen receives blood through the splenic artery and blood leaves the spleen through the splenic vein. It is made up of two different type of tissue. First one is the red pulp and second one is the white pulp. The red pulp is 76 to 79% of normal spleen. Okay, means 76 to 79% of normal spleen is red pulp. Red blood filled sinusoids and reticuloendothelial cells. The red pulp tissue filters the blood and get rid of old or damaged red blood cells. The thing I already told you, that the damaged or the completed lifespan red blood cells are getting filtered in spleen in this red pulp. Next is white pulp. The white pulp arrayed within the red pulp matrix. You can see in the picture, in the red pulp matrix, means in between the red pulp matrix, white pulp is arranged in small areas. White pulp is lymphoid in nature. So what are these white pulps? These are lymphoids. We will study about lymphoids in lymphatic system. The white pulp consists of immune cells. Okay, immune cells means white blood cells. So white blood cells consisting these white pulp, that is why it is also white in color. So these white blood cells are mainly T cells and B cells and helps in immune system to fight infection. Obviously, our white blood cells are the army or defense mechanism of our body. So these white blood cells are B cells and T cells of our body. They are consisting the white pulp in between the red pulp of spleen. Now, functions of spleen are: the spleen's primary job is to filter blood. As blood flows into the spleen, it performs a quality control service, detecting any red blood cells that are old or damaged. Okay. So what thing is filtered in spleen? That is, old or damaged red blood cells are filtered in spleen. Blood flows through a narrow passage in spleen. Healthy blood cells can easily pass, but old or damaged red blood cells are broken down by large white blood cells. Okay. Sorry. A very narrow pathway is there in spleen. So healthy cells can pass through that narrow pathway, but old or damaged blood cells cannot pass through, or they are damaged by white blood cells. Once the red blood cells are broken down, the spleen stores useful products such as ions, which is eventually returns to the bone marrow, which makes hemoglobin, the iron containing part of blood. Means when our red blood cell is getting damaged or getting older, then it is coming to spleen, and if the red blood cell is older or damaged, then it will be broken down by white blood cell. Then after breaking down, the essential part of that damaged blood cell is again getting stored and sent to the bone marrow for making hemoglobin. Okay, clear? Means the after 120 days, means suppose after 120 days a white blood cell is coming to spleen, and it is broken down by the white blood cell, and after breaking down, the essential part of that red blood cell is again stored and sent to bone marrow for making hemoglobin. Okay, is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So storage of RBCs or red blood cells can be stored in spleen and released into the circulation when needed. Okay. The spleen also plays a role in immune response by detecting pathogens and producing white blood cells in response. So spleen also detects the pathogens and produce white blood cells in response. The spleen clears out old platelets from blood. It also acts as a reservoir of platelets. So with red blood cells, the uh, platelets are also getting filtered in spleen. Spleen clears out old platelets, and it also acts as reservoir of platelets. Means when we need platelets, reservoir of platelet, that is spleen, it will release. As the fetus is developing, the spleen makes red blood cells, but after the 5th month of gestation, it stops. Means when a zygote is forming, then from zygote to, means when a spleen is developed in fetus, from that time to 5th month of gestation, spleen is producing red blood cell in that fetus. After 5th month of gestation, spleen stops. So this is a small or basic concept of endocrine system. We already to stop here and start the prayer. If any doubt, any question, any confusion is there, we will conduct that or clear that confusion or doubt tomorrow. So, adapt Namaskar Mudra, upright your spine, close your eyes, take a deep and long breath in, and start the prayer. Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, sarve shantu niramaya, sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma kaschit dukha bhag bhave. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Rub your palms. Put those palms on your facial muscles. Feel the warmth. Feel the energy. And open your eyes with a smile. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay.